Hi everyone and welcome back. Today I am joined by my good friend Julie, who you might know on Instagram as @JulesSews. And today we're going to be talking about a really wonderful project that she has been inspired to do by Mari Sews on Instagram. I'm going to drop a link to Mari's Instagram and her YouTube because she's super inspiring and she's working on this great project. So Julie's going to talk to us a little bit about the project.
Sure. So Project Dress a Girl is a month-long drive during the month of September to try and encourage sewists from all over the world to make a dress for a child that is living in extreme poverty. This dress may be the only dress that a young child would receive.
So it's really inspiring. It's a great way to get together with your friends. Julie's been having some social Sundays with her friends and doing some sewing, which has been looking like lots of fun. So you can do that as well. And what we've got is we actually have a postal address here in Australia for you to actually send things through. So I'm going to drop that postal link down below. Now, Project Dress a Girl actually goes for the month of September, doesn't it?
That's right.
So
yes.
we're almost at the end of September. If you can't get yours in by the end of September, please keep posting them because they will get added to the global count. And you were telling me that Mari's done like so many dresses.
Exactly. Over the years, there's more than tens of thousands of dresses that have been donated. Last year alone, they received over 7,000 dresses.
Which
That's
is just
fantastic.
amazing. So great. And you can just imagine the smiles of all those kids getting all those dresses. Now, there are a few little like kind of rules / guidelines that we want to kind of work with a little bit. So what have we got? We've got length.
Knee length for modesty.
Yep.
The dress has to slip over the head of the child. It can have fabric fastenings like ties, but no buttons or Velcro or zippers.
That makes it pretty simple to make. So it's a pretty fast make. And because it's primarily going to Africa, we want fabrics which are nice and breathable because it's going to get hot. So we're looking for like cottons and linens.
Cottons and linen blends are ideal.
Yep.
They ask for no shears. If there is a shear, if it's to be lined.
Yeah, that makes good sense. So then if you have a sheer fabric, you can just add a hopefully cotton lining to it so that it remains breathable. But it means that it's also wearable for the small child as well because it is going to be quite warm. But I like the idea of taking away the sort of fastenings and it just being fabric fastenings because it means that the kids can dress themselves.
Yes.
But it also means it's easy wear and tear and laundering and things like that as well. So we're going to share with you in a moment, we're going to show you some of the very beautiful dresses that Julie has been making, and we're going to take you through a whole bunch of changes and hacks and alterations you can do to a free pattern that she's been using. So we're going to talk you through all of that as well. But don't forget, you can join in, you can send it via the post, so we can send it via the post. And to bring it on into Australia, and then it's going to get distributed out. And you started all of this because you saw Mari's post and you were like, this is really inspiring?
Very enthusiastic, and her enthusiasm is contagious. And as soon as I saw her kick-off video, I knew I had to jump on board. And I encourage anybody that can sew even one dress can make such a difference to a young child.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Now, I have remembered two of the guidelines which I did miss. So one is no pillowcase style dress. So there was some ones which were made out of pillowcases. They tend not to wash and wear so well. So no pillowcases.
And no ribbons.
And no ribbons.
Ribbons fray.
Oh yeah, of course ribbons fray.
Pillowcases can,
if they're a bit older, they don't wear and tear as well.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, so nothing like this. Honestly, raid your stash. It's going to be such a great stash buster, and we all have way more fabric than we're ever going to sew. So raid your stash. And we're also going to put a little label on those dresses to let the kids know that someone's thinking about them, even if that person is very far away. So with the labels, if you're in America or America is an easy postage for you, you can get them from Mari. And if not, you can get them from you?
Yes, or they can send the dresses to me and I'll sew the dresses on.
Oh, fantastic. All right, so we're going to put some contact details down below so that you can get hold of the labels as well, because it's just a really nice thing for those little kids to know that someone is thinking about them. Now, as Aussies, we live by the by the water quite a lot, and it's hot. Like, let's be fair, it's hot. So we're going to be wearing shorts a lot. So we're going to include something which is just for the boys as well, and we're going to have a chat about that later. So if dresses isn't your thing and shorts is, we've got a solution for that. We'll talk to you about that in a bit. But hang around, I'm going to show you some really pretty dresses. So we're going to show you some of the pretty little dresses that Julie has been making in a moment. But what we're going to do is we're actually going to talk through the pattern that you've been using. So you've been using the Violet Fields Threads London dress.
That's right, yes.
And now this is a free pattern that you can get.
Yes.
And it comes with like a full sew-along tutorial on YouTube.
It's an excellent video.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
We're going to put some links in that below so that you can follow along. Now, for the actual Project Dress a Girl, what ages and sizes are we looking for?
Anything from newborn up to 10 years.
Okay, so that's a pretty big size range, which makes it pretty nice. Now, this, while a very, very cute dress, you've made a few little alterations just to suit your fabrics a little bit better sometimes?
Yes, absolutely. So the patterns itself, there's 3 pieces, main pieces to the pattern. So you've got the front, back and skirt.
And then we've got our ruffle.
The ruffle, you can either have the ruffle or just extend the length of the dress. And there are 2 length variations within the pattern. I like the ruffle on the bottom because it adds a little bit of twirl to the skirt.
And that's really cute. Now for the actual skirt, you added a little bit of length to hit that knee length requirement, didn't you?
I did, yes. I added 2 inches to all of the dresses that I've made to make them just a little bit longer for modesty.
Fantastic. And if anyone's not working in inches, don't forget that 2 inches is about 5 centimeters. So that's a great one. We're going to add that in. And now we've also got the yoke as well.
Yes, so the yoke pattern itself, it's cut for because the back and the front are exactly the same. And if you put the pockets on the side, you can actually wear it.
Oh, like reversible.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
And then we've got a cute little pocket as well. And like we said, the requirement is that all of the garments have a pocket.
Yes.
And later on when we show you the actual dresses, we have some which have some cute little variations on pockets. So with all patterns, don't forget you can hack this and you can add your own little spin to it, can't you?
Exactly.
Fantastic.
And every one of the garments cut in different fabrics with different trims all look different. So even though it's all from the same freebie pattern, they all have their own quirkiness.
This sounds so fun. All right, let's jump in and have a look at some of the dresses. This one is totally adorable. Now, what size is this one we're looking at?
That's a size 4.
Okay.
And it is the complete dress, not with a separate ruffle. So I thought I'd show you this one as a starting point. This is the basic dress. The little pockets are added on. So it has just a patch pocket.
Super easy to sew on.
And front and back are exactly the same. So you can turn it over and have it with the label at the front or the label at the back in that case. The pockets are on the side, so it makes it easy.
That's really cute. Now, this skirt, so when we're looking at the actual pattern for the London dress, it's got a really big skirt. So you've reduced the width of the skirt a little bit to reduce the width of the amount of fabric that you need?
Yes, exactly. It is a very full skirt. You can take a little bit out of the centre back and centre front fold.
Plus that makes it more economical if you're working with a narrower fabric because some of those patchwork fabrics are a little bit narrow, so it means it works on the fabric a bit better.
Exactly. And it also showcases the beautiful batik prints. These prints are from African Fabrics Australia. She has the very best range. It's absolutely beautiful African prints.
So that looks really beautiful, and it's such a vibrant print, and you can just imagine a little girl would just be loving this one. All right, let's take a look at some of the other ones that you've done. I'm just going to slide this one out.
This is the added frill on the bottom, so a little bit shorter in skirt length, but you'll notice that I've added some quirky pockets just with decorative bows and a circle pocket. Still the same back and front. And in that case, I've put the tag on the back, but I have since learnt that they do like the tag
to be on the
label
front.
on the front.
Well,
yes.
as we said, they can be worn back to front, but these little pockets are super cute and a really great way to personalize them up because we want everyone to feel nice and special when they get their piece. Now, the next one we're going to have to slide twice because we don't have quite big enough shot to slide this one in, but let's take a look.
Now this one I have done using the whole length of the pattern, but split into 3 different tiers. So I've used the basic and added more widths to the actual frill to achieve the fullness in the skirt.
And it's super cute, and you can see how much it actually grows out with the one. Now, for each like layer of frill, you just doubled it?
I did.
Yeah.
I doubled it. There's quite a lot of fabric in the skirt, but I do love a full skirt.
If you don't have enough fabric to double it, but you want to do this kind of multi-tiered one, as long as you add 30% extra in width to each one, it will look like it gets fuller. So if you're working with limited fabric, just remember that you can just add 30% to whatever the length is of your, say your middle tier, add 30%, and that would make your bottom tier ruffled. It's not going to look quite this full, but we're pretty close. This one's super pretty as well.
So we've gone from no ruffle to one ruffle to 2 to 3 tiers. This is a double ruffle. So if you can have a look at the dress itself, the underlining is actually a cotton lawn with just an extra frill on the bottom. So it gives you the look of a double frill.
And this is really cute. You've just used some rickrack along the edging here. So you can be super inventive with quite sort of like everyday items we'd all have in our stash, and you can just sort of play around with them as well. I like the binding here too. You said that you were preferring to make your own binding with the dresses because it like bends a little bit better.
Yes, some of the bias binding that you buy is quite stiff, and also some of the bias binding in a packet is quite thin. So you have to play around with the different purchase bias tapes, or you can make your own. I've also added just a little bit of rickrack here to the bind around the neck.
It just really makes it such a cute, fun little dress that it's like if you looked at each one of these, you wouldn't know that they're all different. You'd think they're all different patterns. You wouldn't know it's the same pattern.
So this one is just a very small dress. It's the smallest size. I've had this fabric in my stash for quite a long time, but I had to use it up for this purpose, and cutting it on the crosswise grain just to get the border print in the base. Doesn't have a lot of fullness in the skirt, but enough just to make it.
It's enough, yeah. And I really like the border print is really so pretty. And again, it's got its pockets there as well. And this is one where you can see how beautifully the bias tape you've made out of the self fabric, how beautifully it matches in. So it takes a little bit of extra time, but it really does make such a difference to the presentation of the actual dresses as well.
Just wanted to showcase this little dress made in an African print, but the yoke has been fussy cut. So if you notice, the lengthwise grain is running through the skirt itself, but for the yoke, I've cut it on the crosswise grain to showcase that little green diamond, just to give it a little bit of difference between the yoke and the dress itself. The pockets are well camouflaged, they are there, okay, but it's hardly seen.
Yeah, I really like the fussy cut on that one because it really makes it stand out. Whereas like if you'd cut it without thought to where the print placement would be, it could look a little messy because you might have got half the print, but like having the whole print actually makes it look really beautiful.
That's right, it doesn't get lost, does it?
Now I've noticed on some of these little ones that you've actually done a little elastic back. Is that just in case some of the kids are slightly different shapes, as kids are always want to be? They're always slightly different shapes. So you've just added a little bit of an elastic back to some of them.
I have. I've extended the back up and folded it over and achieved a little elastic casing with a frill at the top.
And that's a cute little idea if you maybe don't have too much of your contrast, or you don't want to sew the same thing all the time, or you're like me and you have an enormous stash of elastic as well. But it's a great idea because like all the kids are going to be different sizes. So that's a cute little idea as well. All right, I'll pop these ones out of the way.
This London dress is a combination of lots of fabrics that I've had in my stash. I absolutely love this mustard floral. It was a little too sheer for my liking, so I've added just a lawn slip underneath, and to the yoke line, just for something a little bit different, I've done a machine embroidery design on the yoke itself on the front, and any design could be used as long as it's symmetrically balanced and fits within the parameter of the yoke itself.
It's really cute. I love the combination of this one because not only have you put together a beautiful color combo, it's also really great for people who maybe have lots of smaller amounts of fabric left over rather than sort of larger amounts. You can combine them and still make a really beautiful, stylish dress.
Yes, and because of the fullness of the thinner fabric, I've actually used the whole pattern. I didn't take out any of the extra fullness.
And that's a great thing because of the softness of this fabric. If you'd done that with some of the heavier weight fabrics, it would have been quite a big skirt. This one has a super cute pocket, which you've actually stolen from one of the big 4 patterns as well.
I have, I couldn't resist. I thought it was such a great pattern. So it's actually bagged out first and then just stitched on, but only stitched.
Oh, like just to the notches.
That's right.
Easy to put in. So we want you to be creative with these. Use up all your stash, use different pattern pieces. You can use the Violet Fields London dress as your base and then be super creative. All right, we've got some more to show though. So I'm just going to flip this one out of the way.
This dress is a combination of 3 fabrics. So you've got the fabric that's in the frill and the yoke.
And I'm just going to fold the yoke down a little bit so we can see that one in shot too. Makes the dress look not quite so pretty, but it means we can see it all. So we've got 3 different fabrics happening.
And in the dress, it's another fabric itself, but in the bow and in the bind, another fabric. So 3 fabrics, all in the same colorway to bring the whole look together.
And that's so great. Like, I'm sure at some point you've got excited at the quilt shop and bought a whole bunch of colorways and then got home and thought, I'm never making a quilt out of these. And now you've got ways to use them up. Now, this little one, I'm actually going to slide. So I want you to look at the trim around the top and then the trim on this hem, which is just adorable. So what is this trim actually called?
This trim is a chenille trim. It comes in about 17 different colours. This is what the product looks like. So chenille, it's called Blooming Bias, and that's exactly what it does. So it's a narrow tape that's cut on the bias, and it's an open weave fabric, so you can make your own if you can't purchase.
So if this isn't available for you in your area, you could make your own.
Exactly, and I have made it in mustard. It looks fantastic. So it's sewn on through the centre with a straight stitch, and then you can either just wash it and it blooms, or you can agitate it with a toothbrush, which is what I've done in these different areas. So you'll notice where the dress joins onto the frill, there's a row, then 2 rows on the frill itself, there's a row on the pocket, and then 2 rows on the decorative yoke. And it just blooms. It's an amazing product. I really love the look of it.
And I'm really hoping the camera picks up how textural this is making this and how beautiful it looks, because it really does bring the whole dress to life. So it's fantastic in all the ways. Like, you should see, I'm just going to slide the stack into position. Like, look at this stack of dresses that Julie has made. They're all individually beautiful, and you can do this with as many sort of trims and accessories as you want to. So definitely get involved and start sewing. So we mentioned earlier that we also wanted to do something for the boys, and being Aussies, we definitely want to do some boardies for boys. So the pattern here is Frocks and Frolics, and it is the Oscar short. Now this comes in a whole range of sizes as well. And we're going to show you some of the options for it as well. You can use any boardie short that you may have, but we just want a range of sizes. Okay, so these are adorable and make me realize just how tiny kids' clothes are, which I always forget. Now, all kids love pockets. So on this one, we have front pockets, and we have some cute little back pockets as well. Now with all of the boys' boardies, what we would really like is an elasticated waist. Now these are quite little, so this is a decorative draw cord on this one, but as we get to our bigger sizes, we've actually done it as a casing with the actual draw cord. So the Oscar shorts do have a really fantastic sew along in there, and in the sew along it's going to take you through all of the things. Now the fly is a mock fly, so it's not a functional fly, so if you've not sewn a fly, don't let that hold you back. And then we've got a casing for our drawer cord as well as some elastic. And a casing plus elastic is fantastic because it means it fits a variety of size children. Now here on this one, we've actually done it with a different kind of enclosure than is on the pattern. On the pattern, it will actually look like these ones. Now these cute grey ones here, just making sure I'm lining it up. These ones actually have eyelets. So if you don't have eyelets, if you don't have an eyelet machine, you can also use buttonholes, but there's a whole bunch of different ways you can do that as well. On this one, to help sort of zhuzh up some grey fabric, it's got this really cute little piping along the front pockets. And then the back pocket is also got a little bit of a trim of piping. So with the girls' patterns, yes, we've added lots of different trims, but don't forget the boys could have some trims there as well. So alongside the dresses that we wish you to make and send on in, don't forget some boardies for boys as well. Absolutely wonderful day here with Julie, talking about all of these dresses and the boardies. It's been super inspiring for me, so I hope it's been really inspiring for you, and we want to keep encouraging people to join in all year round. So people can send products to you all year round.
That's right.
Okay, so don't forget that address is going to be in the notes, so you can send them to Julie as the Australian Ambassador all year round. And really, we just want you to make a difference for a child, don't we?
Jump on board, make a dress. One dress is going to put a smile on the face of a child that's never had a dress of her own.
It's just such a great thing to do. You've got all the information about all of the patterns. If you've got any extra questions, check the show notes. We're going to put some ways in there so you can ask some extra questions as well. But really, we just want you to be inspired and jump on board and help make the change in some of these kids' lives. All right, well, thanks so much for coming. And thank you so much for having me here today. All right, we might just give everyone a little wave and say bye. And thanks so much. And don't forget to join in.